Himesh Reshammiya, fun fact, made 1,000 songs during the lockdown. All of them are in this movie. So,
So is it like the 80s?
if Sajid Khan made Himmat Wala properly.
Just so bad for Interstellar. It's Nolan's movie. It got pushed because of Pushpa.
In your face, Hollywood.
A cop coming and telling Ed Sheeran to stop. He doesn't stop. He just pulls out the plug and Ed Bhai is like,
Bangalore police is clearly not in love with the shape of Ed Sheeran.
I love it.
You know what? I can't get my mind off the fact that I went on Himesh Reshammiya's following and he follows Beyonce, The Weeknd. I was just thinking about all of this. The kind of popularity that India's Got Latent has seen is unprecedented. A channel grew from 1 million to 7 million subscribers. You have people paying heaps of money to watch your content on subscription.
Now the reason why Mrs. doesn't work is because what worked with Geo Baby's Great Indian Kitchen was the sort of the way that he made you feel. Just too filmy, just too filmy. Hi everybody and welcome to Just Too Filmy. I am Rotox and usually I am sitting with someone famous, but today I am sitting with nobodies because that's where the channel has come to. Thank you so much for still supporting and please do subscribe. Hopefully the first person जिसके बारे में आज हम बात करने वाले हैं will get us a few more subscriptions. That's why we're doing this, let's be honest. And that is Samay Raina. Okay, अभी Samay Raina हमने बोल दिया है, फटना चाहिए चैनल, B-Prack से लेके हर कोई एडवांटेज ले रहा है Samay Raina का. So हम भी क्यों ना ले? So we are going to talk about Samay Raina and his show India's Got Latent and Ranveer Allahabadia. Beer Biceps has said on the channel and we are going to discuss this like building aunties. Okay. इसके साथ साथ we have our wonderful panel today with us. As I said, nobody number one is Mr. Bharat. इनका नाम भारत है. It's not Bharat.
That's true, with two A's.
But on a more serious note, he's one of the most vibrant creators at Radio 1, which is one of our sister channels. And we're very grateful that you've given us some time.
Thank you so much.
We're still not famous enough, but it's okay. We'll make it happen. Okay, maybe this show. On the other side of my panel, of course, I have the wonderful Divya Vinekar. She's a producer at Just Too Filmy. And we have Prachi, the OG. Just Too Filmy, okay, forever. So welcome to the show, guys. How does it feel like being on the other side?
This is the first time I'm wearing this mic, so it feels great.
Okay, for you, ma'am?
Yeah.
थोड़ी सी फट रही है.
Okay, लेकिन when speaking of camera, कभी इनकी नहीं फटती. So let's start. Let's start off with. I know I said Samay Raina, but let me run you down through the 4 things or 5 things we're going to talk about today. One, of course, is India's Got Latent. India's got censored, India's got cancelled, India's got all of that. Okay, the second thing we're going to talk about, which is why we have Bharat, is Badass Ravi Kumar, Himesh Reshammiya movie. And the reason he's here is because he's one of those few people who have watched the film on the weekend.
Oh, you're the only one who does adventure sports. You jumped out of a plane. I watched Badass Ravikumar.
I love it.
What an experience. Let me just say, this is a part of the expose universe, but this film is out of this universe.
Okay, hang on to that thought. Because we're going to talk about a film that has crossed Nolan's Interstellar box office collections, and we're not going to tell you what that film is, but we'll come back to it. We've also got Bangalore police telling Ed Sheeran to fuck off, which is hilarious because he was busking, and if you know what busking is, it's basically playing music outdoors, you know, in open spaces. And then there is a very famous video now in the last 2 days that's gone viral of a cop coming and telling Ed Sheeran to stop. He doesn't stop. He just pulls out the plug and Ed Bhai is like, "Kabhi main kya bolu bhai."
Bangalore police is clearly not in love with the shape of Ed Sheeran.
I love it. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
He's Ed Sheeran with the unplugged being silent. Unplugged Sheeran.
Also, I do want to spend some time because this is Just Too Filmy. There was a recent, remake of a film called The Great Indian Kitchen, and Mrs. was the adaptation. And I just want to spend a few minutes today on the show telling you what really didn't work. Okay, so stick around for all of that, and let's start with Badass Ravikumar.
What a movie, what an experience. Himesh Reshammiya, fun fact, made 1,000 songs during the lockdown. All of them are in this movie. So
it's badassery as a musical.
it has more songs than dialogues.
Really?
But the dialogues are of Himesh Reshammiya, and it feels like you're hearing a voice from the sky every time Himesh Reshammiya speaks a dialogue. Clap traps. Actually, some of the dialogues are damn good.
तेरे शरीर में इतना खून नहीं होगा जितना रवि कुमार एक बार में मूत
saw. The best ones are in the trailer, according
Yeah,
to me.
yeah.
That poster I saw on a bus back. It says 80s Jesse film.
Yeah.
So is it like the 80s?
If Sajid Khan made Himmat Wala properly.
Roast. What is the film about? I want to first start by asking you, what is Badass Ravikumar about?
Is if you found the Pathan tickets to be too expensive and you went into another theatre, that's Badass Ravi Kumar for you. It follows the tropes of Ravi Kumar being a ruthless cop who's anti-establishment, who grows his hair long and is most of the film in the same dress. So continuity issues are not a problem. He can just wear that and roam around.
Budget
was there. They shot in Oman, so I think they got some good rebate for that as well. So good for
Kapdo ke nahi mile.
No. Yes. But it's a wonderful movie. Himesh Reshammiya is a chick magnet, a ladies' man, is basically what James Bond would be for Gujarati people. And it's amazing. I loved it. It's damn good. And basically, Himesh Reshammiya has some love interest in the movie. Sunny Leone is there for songs, but she didn't know that she's doing a 20-minute song sequence with 7 songs in
What
it.
are you saying?
Yes, so you have to watch it. If you thought Wicked,
Leone is a Badass Ravi Kumar.
yes, she's in a song called Tandoori Days, not Tandoori Nights.
Oh my God, I love this. Okay, so confession. I saw Tandoori Days.
Yes, it's got a great step as well.
Yeah, but I thought it's AI or it's a parody.
No, it's not.
I can't believe it's a real song from the film.
No, so basically, good that you said parody. I think the whole movie is very self-aware. It's a bit of a spoof movie and they're not taking themselves seriously, which is why I think this movie worked. Because in today's day and age, you have so many like massy movies which have like all kinds of gruesome R-rated action, and then you have this one movie which is not taking itself seriously and you're having fun with it. Himesh Reshammiya is living up to the meme that he's built on the internet, his internet persona. He's just expanding on that, and it's good because Himesh Reshammiya has known, like he had Aapka Suru, then he made Tera Suru, Tandoori Nights, Tandoori Days. Tera Suru.
Not just once, twice.
Price.
So, so I think it's very interesting. I had a ball of a time. It's got a great stacked up cast. You might say it's like an Anubhav Sinha level cast, like a stacked up cast. You have Sanjay Mishra, you have the gentleman who played the villain in Gadar 2, you have Prabhu Deva. And Prabhu Deva's dancing a lot in the movie, which is great.
Prabhu Deva dancing and Himesh Reshammiya singing.
There's a song called Hook Step Hookah Bar, in which Sunny Leone is dancing and Prabhu Deva's dancing. It's got a great bass line. The music has been produced by this gentleman called Megdeep Bose, who's produced the music for...
1 second, he's produced it. Okay. But
Yeah.
the music is
Himesh
Himesh Reshammiya.
Reshammiya. So basically, Jhume Jo Pathan type song, but very nice. And I love the movie. I think it doesn't take itself seriously, which is why it's great. And it's a breath of fresh air in terms of what we are getting to see in the current thing. And I think everyone who's loved Himesh for what he's been doing on the internet or not loved would enjoy this movie. So please go and watch Badass Ravikumar.
I just want to drop in some facts here. The truth is, today is like, I think, 4 days since the film released, and Badass Ravi Kumar has made 10 crores at the box office.
That's true.
And that is not a small number. It's by no means a flop. And you will only figure how much paisa dala gaya, uske baad kitna paisa bana, to know that if it's profitable. But for today's day and age, for a film to come out and make 10 crores standalone, I think, Himesh, we love you. And let's clarify everything by saying we are huge Himesh fans because we are radio people, okay? There are only 2 sets of fans of Himesh Reshammiya, radio wale or rickshaw wale, okay? So both of us, okay, will go and watch your film. We love you, Himesh. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Now let's talk about another film, and this is the film that has surpassed the collections, because we're talking about box office collections, of Interstellar, and that's not Badass Ravi Kumar, okay?
Yeah.
Because Badass Ravi Kumar ka agar 10 crore hua, to Interstellar ka kitna hua? Let's find out, okay? The film that might have done it is a film called Sanam Teri Kasam. I want Prachi to come in here because she's the OG Sanam Teri Kasam fan. Talk to us about why did you say so emphatically that this film has to release?
Clearly because it's a Valentine's week, okay? And it was a pure ऐसे रोना धोना वाली movie, and I love it. It's the same category as Laila Majnu and all these movies. Plus the music is top notch, Arijit's voice and everything. But also have to add in the fact that you said Interstellar and everything. Interstellar also re-released at the same time as Sanam Teri Kasam. Interstellar did not make it to top 1 because of Sanam Teri Kasam. And I just wanted to add, it's just so bad for Interstellar. It's Nolan's movie. It got pushed because of Pushpa.
क्योंकि पुष्पा के नाम में ही पुश है भाई.
In your face, Hollywood.
Yeah, in your face. And then when it got re-released, nobody's going to.
And then Sanam Teri Kasam happened. So Nolan's sitting there going like, what's going on? What the hell is going on? Let's talk about what everyone's talking about. There's so much going on with India's Got Latent, guys, and we have to talk about it. First of all, like a lot of people I know watch this show, right? So let's not take away the popularity of the show. It's the most popular show on the internet. Ranveer Allahabadia came onto the show and then made a joke about, he asked a contestant, the choices are, would you rather watch your parents have sex every day of your life, or would you join them once and put an end to it? So if you had to choose. Now this is the clip that has gone viral. And the funny thing is, people in government positions have commented, including the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, which is Mr. Devendra Fadnavis. So there is a lot going on. Like, we know Samay Raina is famous. He was on KBC recently. And I think it's crazy fame in that same week, right? Like, first year on KBC, you're sitting with Amitabh Bachchan. And second, the Chief Minister is coming and commenting. Let's just say it's a good time to be Samay Raina, guys. Samay ka samay acha chal raha hai. But I want to hear what you have to say as the only man on this womenal.
Yeah. So, firstly, I think freedom of speech is a very vast topic, so let's not go there. Secondly, what one should
He's like the government.
Firstly,
like freedom of speech is a very vast topic. Let's
no.
not go
So,
there.
if you'll honestly ask me, I subscribe to what Mr. Ricky Gervais says. Many people might not agree with me, and that's completely right. You can't tell people what not to talk about. And Samay Raina, in one of his voice notes, couple of months ago, answered to someone who said something to him on the DM saying that you can't tell people what not to say, because if you stop for one person, then you'll have to stop for the other person. And comedy doesn't need to be taken that seriously. There are people who are doing thousands of things in their lives and are bogged down and are watching comedy to make themselves feel lighter. Having said that, I might not agree with what Ranveer said, which, by the way, was something that he probably saw on some American video of a woman saying that to someone on a segment or show that I really don't know about.
That's not an original thought.
That's not an original thought. And I think...
Why am I not surprised? Ranveer?
I think one of the best assessments that I've seen of this is of someone I'm really not able to remember. He said that when you put people who are not from the field of comedy with comedians on a panel, you feel the pressure of being funny. Ranveer has been someone who's very well known for asking questions that are out of the blue. So he might have felt that bro needs to hesitate means bro needs to hesitate. Samay meeting beer biceps. He might have felt the need to be the person, the alpha on the panel, and he might have gone ahead and said that. Having followed his content, having followed his content for a very long time, I can say that I would like to side with him. And I think one statement should not completely eliminate or cancel out all your other body of work. He's done thousands of podcasts, made thousands of fitness videos, has some thriving companies in the media industry. So we should not really take one statement of his as an assessment of the person he is.
Yeah, 1 second now.
And
that's the BJP call. Bharat. इकडेच आहे. त्यांचं नाव भारत आहे. हो.
FBI, open up! And also, one of the funniest things I saw is Mr. B. Prag saying that he didn't go on Ranveer's podcast because he found his comment to be so-and-so. I see the validity in what he's saying, but to associate that with what he said out of context on a show...
I think B. Prag ने बहती हुई गंगा में हाथ धो लिया, महाकुंभ नहीं जा पाए, तो he just went like...
I want some views. Attention.
Attention. Sorry, B. Prag, you're looking very bad on this.
Yeah, but I feel that B. Prag's voice is louder than what Ranveer said on the show. So I love B. Prag as a musician, but I think... No, but...
तेरे पॉडकास्ट पर नहीं आएंगे और दुनिया को बताएंगे. This was completely impromptu. I am the next B. Prag.
This is very good.
Thanks. Yeah, this is why you're hired in my team. But thank you for chipping in.
But having said that, I just feel for the people who offended, I get why you're offended, but don't judge the guy.
But why are you offended? I have a completely radical view on this, and my point is, I don't think anything he said was anything crazy.
I think he said crazier things on his own podcast before that, so why are they not attacking his podcast?
I'm like, it's okay. okay, man. Like he said something. See, we are all human, and I don't think that creators. And here's a word for creators. Creators जो आपको नजर आते हैं वो एक persona के साथ नजर आते हैं. They are coming to do a business, a job. It's like a movie star. They have a role. But outside of that, this is a personal thing that he went on as Ranveer Allahabadia. He's not going in there as a creator, right? He's going as himself. And in your personal space, if you're going somewhere, I feel that this is a different side to him, and it's completely fine for him to say what he wants to say. I think it's completely fair. Any other opinions, Divya?
I'm just upset it's not original. Actually,
Oh, that's a good point.
मतलब original होता तो बवाल into 10 हुआ होता, but अभी सिर्फ into 5 है because social media is very like so volatile. The fact that it's not original has also surfaced that fast.
Yeah,
So
I love social media, but here's my point. For with all respect, because see, the government ultimately is interested in censorship. And that's the truth. And if they want to take something that is truly famous and then make examples out of it, it's going to be easy to serve their agenda of censorship. So that's one. The second thing is, I feel like, यार अगर हमारे गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल्स के पास इतना टाइम है तो प्लीज सर मुंबई शहर में सड़कें जो हैं उनको प्लीज दिस इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट पीपल आर सेइंग ऑन द इंटरनेट दे आर रनिंग अराउंड एंड सेइंग हाउ डू पीपल इन पोजीशंस ऑफ पावर हैव द टाइम टू सिट एंड कमेंट एंड मेक रूल्स एंड लॉज अबाउट something that can come and go on an episode versus actually doing the work that is going to impact actual people, which is us, which is fix the streets. So anyway, or the AQI.
Just to add, they did all of this thing in 24 hours. The complaint was filed, the video got down, the CM commented on the whole thing. It was done in 24 hours. Nothing in India is done so quick.
only these things get fast tracked, and I'm upset about that also now. Like real issues won't get fast.
I have my final take on this is like a couple of things. Firstly, I feel that the kind of popularity that India's Got Latent has seen is unprecedented. No Indian YouTuber or creator has had that kind of success where a channel grew from 1 million to 7 million subscribers. You have people paying heaps of money to watch your content on subscription. 60
Maybe that's
rupees.
why we are not getting cancer.
Correct.
Free content.
And there are about 30 to 40 million views on average, which is unprecedented. When something has so many eyeballs, the people sitting in their ivory towers thinking that this is what we're going to make on Netflix, this is what we're going to make on a so-and-so OTT platform, that is not getting that many views, and we are charging 600 rupees for a subscription or 1,000 rupees for subscription. We would rather have control on what's happening. And secondly, I also feel that like you said about bigger biceps, that he's just going as Ranveer, but the other issue is that these are not movie stars. These are people who are actually saying things on their platforms. Like a beer biceps would intervene a guest and say that this is what I feel about this. So they are clearly opinionated. So you associate them with those views that they are trying to portray, or that image that they're trying to build. So it is a little contradictory in terms of what's happening. But I think we should be a bit more open-minded. Not saying that the people offended should not be offended. You can be offended or champion anything that you want. But let's just chill out a bit.
I still think it's a great question, because what would you do if I asked you this question? I haven't had the answer to it actually. I'm like, what would I choose? So yeah, Ed Sheeran and the Bangalore police. This episode is hilarious, and we're not even talking about Udit Narayan, which is amazing. So without Udit Narayan,
Good to see he was not stuck in traffic. Like, you know, like he was like, Ed Sheeran was stuck in traffic so much, he was like, I'll do the show on road. Like,
She was यहाँ traffic नहीं है, मैं यहाँ गाना गाऊंगा.
but I love that cop. That cop came in saying, I don't give a shit कि तुम सब fan हो, ये कौन आदमी है? Maybe he doesn't even know it's Ed Sheeran, right? He's like, you can't sing. Then Ed Sheeran put up a story saying that भाई साहब मेरे पास सारे permissions थे, because he's like, I'm in India, I don't get arrested. I don't want to end up like Ranveer Allahabadia beer biceps. So he put that clarification that permissions were in place. Then the narrative changed to becoming because he was not singing in Kannada. And I think that Bangalore as a city has a lot of pride on its language. And it is a thing, maybe we don't understand it because Mumbai is perhaps a lot more cosmopolitan. There was a wave in Mumbai as well in the 80s where, if you didn't speak Marathi, it was a problem, okay? The rickshawalas were targeted because they were from Bihar. South Indians were targeted at one point because they were lungi pehne wale log. And all of these things have happened in different cities and different states. But I think in Bangalore, even today, they have a lot of pride with Namma Bangalore. And I think that's why the cop came in. And let me again remind everybody, every time the government or governance steps in, they are not coming at us. They are going to an Ed Sheeran. They are going to a Samay Raina. Because that tells me a lot about all governments and their nature. Sir, आप famous होना चाहते हैं. Think about it.
Views चाहिए, views.
Any intel on this?
I love the story he posted that maybe they like Bruno Mars. I was like, yeah, baby, that's the spirit.
You know what? I can't get my mind off the fact that I went on Himesh Reshammiya's following and he follows Beyonce, The Weeknd. I was just thinking about all of this. But anyways, coming back to what I feel, Ed Sheeran has had humble beginnings. He's done about 1,000 gigs before becoming one of the biggest artists in the world, and his tour is killing it. We also saw like a video of him like jamming with Arjit Singh in his hometown in West Bengal. Yeah, and of course we had Diljit coming last year on stage, and Arjit and Ed have also performed together. So I get it that he's really trying to connect with the people, but I think
not on Bangalore police.
Yes, true.
They're like, I will connect you to the cops.
That's actually badass Ed Sheeran for you, because he's like the world is my oasis. I will perform anywhere I want और मैं badass बनूंगा.
ये इंडिया ऐसे नहीं होता है, इधर परमिशन लगता है भाई, ऐसे नहीं हो सकता. And I think sorry Ed, like what else do I say? Sorry Ed, like that's about it. And now lastly, of course, I want to talk about Mrs. versus The Great Indian Kitchen. The Great Indian Kitchen is a film that is Malayalam originally. It's made by Geo Baby and it released during the pandemic. And when it released, I remember talking to my mom and I asked her if she watched it because she would watch most Malayalam films. And I said, did you like it? And she said, what's there to like? This is my whole life. It broke my heart. I spoke to Sanya Malhotra about it because we spoke to her before the Mrs. during the promotions. And of course, I also watched Mrs. Now, the reason why Mrs. doesn't work is because what worked with Geo Baby's Great Indian Kitchen was the sort of the way that he made you feel. And it's not to say that Aarti Kadav is any less of a filmmaker. She's a woman, okay? And that's what sometimes confuses me in these debates because you think that women would be able to tell the women's stories better. It's not about man or woman. It's about what your lens is, all right? In Geo Baby's movie, the shots are so tight, you can feel the ick. There are constant top shots of like the sink which is overflowing or the food that they've left behind on the table. What's also very big for me in the Great Indian Kitchen is the taboo around periods and menstruation, because of which the woman sits out. It's something that is completely outside of Mrs., which I found like, why would you do that? Okay, but anyway, you did. Doesn't matter, I'll go with it. Just because one is set in a village and the other one is set in a city, you'd like to think it will be more progressive. Unfortunately, it isn't. All right. And then you have the part, which is, I think, the most important part of Great Indian Kitchen is that it all comes to a head with a ritual, okay, which is when they're going to Sabarimala. Okay, and going to Sabarimala is a men thing. You might remember the time when the Sabarimala incident came to light. This was before the pandemic, and this was in 2018 or 2019, where women, actually questioned their right to go into Sabarimala. And the Sabarimala at that time said that menstruating women cannot be allowed in the temple. And this caused a huge debate and an uproar. This was one of the fulcrums of the original, saying that here are these men, they're going to Sabarimala and they're supposed to be pure, but all the impure work is done by the women of the house. So there is so much of layering, because here you're talking about traditions, customs, religion, and coupled with patriarchy, which is what makes The Great Indian Kitchen such an effective, impactful film. And even though Mrs. is lovely, okay, there's nothing wrong with the film. But that's the point. You are not in a place to make an average film. especially when the original is so hard hitting. So you can't go into a film and want to remake it if you don't want to make it better. So that is what I would say about Mrs. And that's, my sort of argument. You could feel otherwise. You could turn around and say, Mrs., if you never watched Great Indian Kitchen, Mrs. could work for you. I still think it would serve as a lovely sort of, reminder of how the patriarchy exists. But one thing that all of these films do, and Mrs. is important as a film to be there, because it's set in the North Indian context, all right? And the North Indians, okay, perhaps also need this sort of mirror, because as Aarti and Sanya repeatedly said, she said कि उनकी गलती भी नहीं है, मर्दों की गलती भी नहीं है, ये उनकी conditioning है. They have never seen a different side of this argument. They don't even know what's wrong. So I think it's an important film. I'm glad it exists. I'm not saying it shouldn't exist, it's a bad remake, none of that. But if you watch the original, then you can say why the remake falls short. So
Okay. I have a small opinion on this.
yeah.
Not in terms of the
yes,
movie.
let's let the man. Of course.
Forgot
No.
about him.
No. Not about the movie. I think your assessment will be much better because you've seen both the movies. But my question here is that if the messaging of both the movies is heading towards a positive direction,
Exactly.
and if necessarily one hasn't watched the Malayali movie or the Malayalam movie, is it even necessary to compare it to the Hindi iteration? Because as long as the message is being said, and for the people who are watching the movie are feeling like changed human beings, like they say that art should make the comfortable disturbed and the disturbed comfortable. If that's happening, should we even? This is just a question that I want to pose. So yeah.
And that's why I said that because this is a Just Too Filmy movie channel where we celebrate the movies, it's important for me to talk to it from a film on film perspective. But having said that, I will still maintain that we are all pushing and every push matters. So whoever watches the film, maybe just on its own as a film, it's worked for some people. Maybe who've never watched the original, it's worked for them. I wouldn't turn around and say that this film doesn't work. On its own, Mrs. works. But if you know better, and that's why we're here, right? Because we do know better. And if you know better, then you want to take it to the audiences and say, if you watch the Hindi film, give the Malayalam version a chance because it's beautiful. It's amazing. It does make you angry. And here's my request. I think people would readily watch a Hindi film, okay? But the minute it comes to Malayalam films or any regional language films, they might turn around and say, subtitles, bro, I don't want to watch it. And that is why I think I would recommend the Malayalam version to you. So, having said that, it was a lot of fun. I hope you had as much fun as we did. This is Bharat. I'm surrounded by lovely people from my team, Divya and Prachi. We all had a great time, guys. And of course, we'll see you next time right here. What are we calling this, by the way? We'll figure out by the next time, hopefully. Or you'll see it on the thumbnail. Bye.